So is Sachin Pilot indeed conspiring with the Bharatiya Janata Party to topple the Gehlot-led Congress government in Rajasthan, or is Ashok Gehlot just determined to throw Pilot out and is maligning Pilot's image? Joining us on the News Track Showdown tonight, I want to welcome first, representing the Congress Party, its spokesperson Pawan Khera, squaring off against him, his erstwhile colleague and now member of the Bharatiya Janata Party, Tom Wadakan. With us also Pradyut Kishore Dev. He's Tripura Royal Scion, chairperson of the Indigenous Progressive Regional Alliance, and has been associated very closely with the Congress Party for a long time. Also for Perspective, our National Affairs editor Rahul Srivastav. I want to go across to Pawan Khera first, because the Congress Party has alleged that Sachin Pilot is conspiring with the Bharatiya Janata Party. He and his MLAs are guests of the BJP government in Rajasthan. They're ensconced in a Manesar resort and there's a lot of Haryana police protection. However, Sachin Pilot himself says that he has no intention of joining with the BJP, and that because the BJP is making overtures doesn't mean that he has any parlays with them. What, Mr. Khera, is the evidence that the Congress has to back the charge that Sachin Pilot at this time is actively conspiring with the BJP to bring the Ashok Gehlot government down? Let's start with Pawan Khera.
Rahul, the fact that there is heavy deployment of Haryana police around the hotels where they are staying, where these MLAs have been put up, the fact that two BJP leaders from Rajasthan are presently in custody of the Rajasthan police with absolutely incontrovertible evidence of their attempts that they were making of trying to poach on our MLAs. Those two BJP leaders are in custody. So when a leader and chief minister of a state says something, he obviously says it with some evidence in his hands. So if there is Haryana police there, if people who were involved in the Madhya Pradesh operation are seen active right now around Manesar, around the hotels, obviously we'll have to come out and say that BJP is trying to destabilize our government, which is in absolute comfortable majority as of now. It will continue to be in comfortable majority, but yes, attempts are being made by the BJP. There is no doubt about that.
Tom Wadakan, is the BJP indeed conspiring with Sachin Pilot to do a Madhya Pradesh to topple the Ashok Gehlot government in Rajasthan? Because the fact is, they're not in Delhi, they're not in Rajasthan, they are in a BJP-ruled state with a heavy deployment of Haryana police personnel all around those Manesar resorts.
Rahul, this is a concocted story built up by the chief minister essentially to save himself. Now the point here is, you have seen visuals of the BJP MLAs whose keys were snatched from the car and they were waiting outside their house. They couldn't move for 6 hours. Now who is poaching whom? Whether the egg came first or the chicken is something my own friend Pawan Khera has to sort out. Haryana police, CRPF, who is operating to the police? What are the notices that what has started all this? Especially the one that Sachin received. I'm not a spokesman for Sachin. I'm only putting out issues that are in public domain. What are the notices that have been sent? And cleverly, the Home Minister himself, that is the Chief Minister, himself has posted a letter to himself asking to appear before. So it's very cleverly planned operation, and the Bharatiya Janata Party is being dragged into it. Yes, we will keep our constitutional responsibility whenever we are a political party, not an NGO. Rahul, let me be very candid about it. When there is a situation when the government is losing majority, we as a political party will ensure that the state of Rajasthan has a good government and it lasts. That's our responsibility as we have sworn in under the constitution. Now that
Pawan Khera, you're alleging that the BJP is you're alleging, Pawan, that the BJP is locking up these MLAs. The fact is that video clip of a tribal MLA from Rajasthan went viral, and you can actually see the cops around him. They take his key and they go away. The BJP can counter argue that there are people in the Gehlot camp at this moment who want to leave and are being prohibited at force from doing so.
No, I saw that video. In fact, I just saw that video yesterday also. But that gentleman who we are talking about is happily, comfortably living in his house now. So I don't know why we should be questioned when we are trying to protect our turf. If we fail to protect our turf, people will come and say, "Arey, aap to apne MLAs ko nahi
No, how can you lock up an MLA?
Trying to.
The man wants to leave. You don't let him. The cop take his key and run away.
He is absolutely comfortable in his house today. You can go and check. Your reporter is a very capable reporter. Ask him to check. Having said that, so we have every right, and it's also our duty to honor the mandate given to us by the people of Rajasthan. And in doing so, if we have to protect our turf, save our MLAs from being poached, of course we'll do that. The kind of threats, the kind of money, a government which can forget Corona and try and poach on our MLAs in Madhya Pradesh can resort to anything. They are not interested in governance. They are only interested in expanding their territory. They are only interested in subverting democracy everywhere. Wherever they meet democracy, they kill it. So, having said that, we'll have to protect our MLAs. Who else will do it? India Today won't do it. Mr. Tom Vadakan definitely won't do it. So, Pawan Khera will have to do it. So you can't blame me for protecting my MLA. Of course, we'll do that.
Rahul Srivastav, how compelling is the evidence to back the charge that Gehlot has thrown Sachin Pilot's way, that he is actively in cahoots with the BJP and trying to bring the Gehlot government down? When Sachin Pilot spoke to us, he said he doesn't want to join the BJP. He's not met anybody from the BJP. He doesn't intend to work with the BJP, and all of this is being done by Gehlot, he suggested, because he wants to lower Sachin Pilot's esteem in the eyes of the Congress High Command. Rahul Srivastav.
Rahul, the BJP, if you notice, is displaying a different style of operation compared to a Karnataka or a Madhya Pradesh. The basic difference is it's displaying a limited liability action right now because the gap between the two leaders, two formations with BJP and Congress is wide. The second big problem is, till now, Rahul, if you notice, the two sides, Gehlot and Sachin, both are not going in for any clear indication of what kind of numbers they control. Ashok Gehlot holds a kind of a numerical count in his backyard, puts people in buses, books 119 rooms, only 89 are occupied. It might have gone up by 3 to 4 today. Sachin Pilot used to say 30 plus. Today it is 20 plus. Some say 18. Both of them are not coming out with the numbers. The second problem is, for the BJP, is that if you notice, they are trying to avoid a numeric game and then trying to wean away the other side. Ashok Gehlot moving in and asking, sending a notice to the speaker sending a notice to people, is basically to browbeat people, to get them back, build a case against them. I think till these two sides are sure of their numbers, somewhere you will find that the BJP will not actively move in. So to say the BJP is head deep into it, neck deep into it, or waist deep into it, will be depending on what kind of situation evolves. The real issue is right now, the Congress party is trying to save a government. It is less interested in bringing back Sachin Pilot. Ashok Gehlot is getting stronger. He started playing his cards well. He got KC Venugopal a ticket from Rajasthan for Rajya Sabha. He has played his cards well. He is marshalling his resources, using the speaker's office, using the Congress party's compulsions, cornering Sachin Pilot. One will have to wait and see. Till now, Sachin has not spoken publicly, but tomorrow it is being said likely that sometime around 4 o'clock, Sachin might make a statement. One will have no clarity on how many numbers he has right now.
Pradyot, do you think Sachin Pilot has walked into a grand trap laid by Ashok Gehlot? And I'll tell you why I say this. That Ashok Gehlot wanted Pilot off his back. Pilot was becoming, bothersome, and they just were having a very acrimonious relationship, and therefore he made it seem through his own associates to Sachin Pilot that they would back Pilot. But when push came to shove, Sachin Pilot now finds himself with an inadequate number of MLAs to push this rebellion through, and therefore, in trying to show Gehlot down, do you think inadvertently Pilot has walked into a Gehlot?
I think you're partly true, because again, a very astute politician, and from his recent statements, which is in contrary to what we hear from the AICC, which is more reconciliatory, I see that Gehlot is hell-bent on ensuring that Sachin Pilot does not remain in the Congress party in Rajasthan. He's already lost his PCC presidentship and his deputy chief ministership. And I think Sachin has been pushed to a corner. I think it's very unfortunate. I think it's extremely unfortunate, because I think when we looked at Gehlotji, he was an NSUI president, and when you look at Sachin, he was the future of the party. After this, I don't see much of an option, but I'm very happy. I'm extremely happy that at least Sachin has not gone and joined the BJP. At least he said so. And eventually, I think we all knew that Sachin Pilot and Gehlot had a problem. And I think the Congress party should have addressed this problem a lot. We waited for far too long. We allowed it to fester. And eventually, it shows that a party needs a full-time permanent president. Whether Rahul Gandhi comes back, it'll be wonderful if he does. But if he doesn't come back, I think it's high time that the Congress gets out of his interim president and appoints a full-time working president. I think it shows very poorly on the Congress. The only loser here is the Congress party, and BJP has gained in the perception.
Do you think, Pradyut, the Congress is reaching a zone where they are willing to think beyond the Gandhi family as someone who could come in and take over as the new Congress president? Do you think that that's simply inconceivable for congressmen to even think beyond the Gandhis? Or do you think now, just given the fact that the Gandhi name by itself doesn't guarantee electoral victory, more and more congressmen are coming around to the view that it may be time to look beyond the first family?
No, I think Rahul Gandhi himself suggested this in his letter, that the next Congress president should be a non-Gandhi. So he was very clear. I mean, I've worked under Rahul Gandhi as a Congress president in the Tripura state. And I think he was a wonderful leader. But once he left, there was a lot of blur in the picture. And I think this is entirely up to the Congress party. What I find highly disconcerting is when a senior leader and a respected leader like Gehlotji says that agar aap देखने में अच्छे हो, अगर आप इंग्लिश अच्छा बोलते हो, और अगर आप दिल्ली में सब आपको पहचानते हैं, तो उससे कुछ नहीं होता. Is he referring this about Sachin? Is he referring this about the host of young leaders? Is he referring this about Rahul Gandhi? Rahul Gandhi is good looking. He speaks good English. He's accessible to the Delhi media. So I think this entire card which is being played against new versus old, it has nothing to do with that. It has got to do with capability. And yes, if I had to give an outsider's suggestion how to revamp the Congress, I think they should start by revamping the Congress Working Committee. We need sharp people. I mean, when I look at Pawan, he's speaking, he's an eloquent speaker. He should be given a larger responsibility. We in the Northeast suffered very badly when the Citizenship Amendment Act happened. Nobody came to our rescue. We had to fight the battles alone. So I think, yes, the Congress wakes up very late. It responds very poorly. And we need to change this Congress Working Committee and this entire culture of dependency
Pawan Khera,
on
will
General
you
Secretary.
concede on camera what every congressman admits privately, that this whole indecisiveness about who will come and lead the Congress, Rahul Gandhi having resigned as Congress president but not having given up those responsibilities entirely, still being the most visible face of the Congress, Sonia Gandhi continuing to be interim president for now several months and no clarity about where things are going, who's in charge, that is largely responsible for the mess in Rajasthan. If there had been clarity at the top, the High Command could have found a way of brokering a truce. Now you're left with a situation where Gehlot wants Sachin Pilot out. The entire young brigade of the Congress, from the likes of Priya Dutt to Shashi Tharoor, multiple people, Kuldeep Bishnoi tweeting to say that you must find a way of keeping Sachin in. Suddenly there are so many fault lines, and that's largely because of the vacuum you've got at the top.
Rahul, if I say, and I say it openly on camera today, and we all want Sachin Pilot to be in the Congress. He is an important leader. He's a good leader. He worked very hard. I mean, you can't call it a fault line. We are allowed to state our opinion in public. Now, if you call it a fault line, fair enough, up to you, but I don't call it a fault line. That's the strength of my party and I like it. Tell me, whether I have an interim president or a regular full-time president does not alter my performance as a spokesperson. It has been given to me by my party. It doesn't get impacted by who's my president, for God's sake. So if Mr. Sachin Pilot is a PCC president and a deputy chief minister, he knows his role, he knows his job. How does the fact that there is an interim president alter anything when it comes to his role as the PCC president of Rajasthan or deputy chief minister of Rajasthan? Now, you keep saying that there is an interim president, but there are regular structures within a party. Whether the president is interim or not does not change the fact that there is a coordination committee, there is a general secretary in charge. The coordination committee is well represented, fairly well represented. All the groups find voice in that coordination committee. Now, if that coordination committee fails to deliver, that's when the central leadership gets in, and that's where the observers, Mr. Ajay Maken, Mr. Randeep Surjewala, and Mr. Avinash Pandey were sent there. So these are systems within a party. Manipur, 4 of the BJP MLAs left the BJP.
Tom Vadakkan, you've been a lifelong congressman before your recent foray into the BJP. Well, do you buy Pawan Khera's argument, because you've seen the Congress system from within? Do you buy Pawan Khera's argument that it doesn't matter whether there's an interim president or a full-time president? There are structures, you've got general secretaries, you've got observers, they're supposed to do their job. Or do you think that Rahul Gandhi's vacillation, this near certainty that he's coming back but nobody really knows when, it's almost as if when he thinks the time is right but the rest of Congress can go into disarray while he waits his time, that this whole lack of momentum, this lack of decision is also largely responsible for the mess in Rajasthan? Mr. Vadakkan.
Rahul, Pawan is both right and wrong simultaneously. He says there's no fault lines. Only yesterday, 24 hours back, a gentleman called Sanjay Jha, who's a common friend of two of us, was sent a suspension notice because he was critical of the Congress party's function. He was dropped as a spokesman. And if you speak your mind, Pawan, you are not permitted. No spokesman is allowed to speak his mind. Let's be very clear on that. So, it is not fair to ask him to speak his mind on this, because spokesmen are trained not to speak their mind. They're supposed to be trained to speak for their party. So I have no contest with Pawan on that. Now, the issue here is the fault line he talks about, I think, is only visible with what happened to Sanjay Jha. He was on a television program, and there came a notice and he was suspended from the party. I have seen some of the things that happened in the party.
Okay, respond to that, Pawan Khera. That what is, you're saying that there is no fault line. What is it that Sanjay Jha asked for? Sanjay Jha said, it's time to look beyond the Gandhis. There are enough people who are getting restless, who feel that you need a professional management, you need a competent CEO, you cannot be governed like a proprietorship. That's the sum and substance of what Sanjay Jha was saying. And your party, sir, found it so unacceptable that you've now suspended him.
So if we act, there is a problem. If we don't act, there is a problem. Now, if Kirti Azad gets suspended from the BJP, or Yashwant Sinha ji gets suspended from the BJP, Navjot Sidhu gets removed from the BJP because they had a different opinion about things, why won't you comment on that? Why won't we question that? Every organization, Rahul, including yours and mine, there is a system, there are mechanisms where you try and say whatever you have to. You can absolutely, your grievances can be discussed. Every organization has it. I don't expect you to come out and openly talk against your management on your channel. That will be bizarre. Likewise, no spokesman, no leader should openly go and talk against the party. Even if that leader is whoever he or she may be. The topmost is not allowed to go against the party. Full stop. This is how organizations function. How else do you enforce discipline? When I say mechanisms, systems and structures,
no, but he didn't talk against
those mechanisms
the party.
Include this.
He spoke against the Gandhi family. He said we needed to look beyond. We need to re-energize ourselves from within. And he said, I intend to stay a congressman for life.
No. Absolutely. Congress is a state of mind. He's most welcome to stay a congressman. Why shouldn't he? A lot of this country is things like the Congress does. So that's not the issue. The issue is, it's not the Gandhi family or You speak against the leadership, you speak against the policy of the Congress, you speak against the ideology of the Congress at times, you speak about the way Congress is taking some decisions. You're most welcome, but do that within the parameters of discipline of an organization. You can't go public and then not expect action. I repeat, Rahul, and you're not giving me the answer to that. I asked Mr. Tom,
sure.
Can he say anything against Mr. Amit Shah today and get away? हमारे यहाँ तो फिर भी 15 दिन बाद नोटिस आएगा, आपको 15 सेकंड नहीं लगेंगे.
Okay, let Tom Vadakan respond to that. Mr. Vadakan, would you like to take a pot shot at Mr. Shah or Mr. Modi and let's see how long you survive, says Khera.
Dekhiye, this is a very strange argument because Amit Shah ji has done more for this country than probably Rahul Gandhi and combined have done. The point is what he did in Delhi, for example, during this epidemic. Then the various other issues, the action against corruption. Of course, there's intra-party, intra-ministry inquiry that has been started against the Congress. Now, there are things which I'm very proud of him. Why should I speak? I'm not on a lunatic fringe. He's one of the most practical person. I met him many times, and he's a man of very limited words.
Okay.
What he says, he does. Pawan, let me tell you something.
He was just sledging you. He was just sledging you. I don't want to get in. I don't want to get stuck into that. I have time only for one question. One second. I have time only for one question. Rahul Srivastav, which way will this battle end? Look into the future. Give us your best sense in 40 seconds of what you think will happen next. Who will win? Is Gehlot going to win? Is Sachin going to win? And is Gehlot going to ensure Sachin gets sacked, or can Sachin still stay in the Congress and work with Gehlot? 40 seconds. Rahul Srivastav, final words.
Rahul, if there was not a plot and a script, I think somebody in the Congress party senior enough would have called up Ashok Gehlot and told him that the only reason Sachin is rebelling right now is that notice which has been sent with a sedition clause, withdraw it. I think perhaps that might have created a ground for them to come together. That has not happened. The effort is to edge him out. I think in the short run, Ashok Gehlot is likely to win, and then the BJP will come in, because eventually some members will go away and the BJP will provide tacit support and continue working to weaken Ashok Gehlot. It will be a weakened Ashok Gehlot who will be around, I think, after a little while.
Remember, Sachin Pilot at this time may have 22 MLAs, even a few leave. Gehlot's future will be poised quite literally on a knife's edge, and that's going to be a very tricky government for him to be able to run, constantly having to look behind his shoulder. This is where I wrap up the first part of the news track. I want to thank Pradyot, Pawan Khera, Tom Vadakan, Rahul Srivastav for joining us. When we come back, there's a very special newsmaker. I'm very keen that you stay back and meet. Hello everyone, this is Rahul Kamal here. Hope you enjoyed this video. For the latest news and analysis, like and subscribe the India Today YouTube channel, and don't forget to press the bell icon to stay updated.